But I love what I do, and I'm not going to stop doing it. I don't care what anyone thinks or says. Do you, be you, and live for you.
Here we are, live in studio now. We've tamed it down a little bit, although let's be honest, it's about to get very exciting. This is, I am super stoked for this. I interviewed this beautiful lady years and years and years ago on terrestrial radio. I was kind of the third of that interview, and now I get to guide the interview, and let's be honest, we've aged quite nicely, haven't we?
I think so. I feel pretty good. How about you?
I feel fantastic. Carmen Electra, everybody. What a pleasure. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really good. Wow.
This town must be so fun for you because every day you run into someone new or old, but is like in the industry.
Oh, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just a girl from the Midwest. So, you know what I mean? I grew up watching these movies, and then coming out here, you get to meet so many cool people. I still get starstruck, there's just certain people out there that I watch their shows still to this day, or my favorite movies of all time. So it's really cool.
Do you think that's a great way to be, maybe to young actresses, young actors, young models, whatever it may be, to always kind of have the humility to be, it's okay to be a super fan and just really appreciate who's in front of you as opposed to pretending you're bigger than it all. Is that good advice?
Yeah, because if you're pretending it's an act and it's silly, everyone has someone that they're think is cool. Why not share it? I'm just an open kind of person, so I think it's cool.
Now, was there ever a stage, when you're doing Baywatch, or I think of the famous marriages you've had with Dennis Rodman, Dave Navarro. Did you ever get a big ego? Did you ever get a big head, Carmen Electra?
I don't think it was ever a big ego, but I remember when I first got my job at MTV, I was just, I think more than anything, so excited, and my life changed really fast. So I had to do so many things, and you feel so good. And all of a sudden, someone will just say something about you, and it's like, oh, it's you just feel like you get stabbed in the heart. After a while, you get a tough skin and you get used to it. And now, after all these years, I just know how to roll with it. It's I'm going to make fun of myself before you can.
So you're self-deprecating.
That takes the power out of it. You know, what can anyone say about you if you're yeah.
It's the Eminem rule in 8 Mile, right? What Eminem did in that rap,
Exactly.
Say if everyone lived their life that way, then no one can ever knock them down.
That's true.
Although, let's be honest, how the hell does anyone make fun of you? How can anyone get to you? That's impossible, Carmen Electra.
I remember I was because I love Jenny McCarthy, I watched her on Singled Out, and it was such a big deal to get that job, because she went on to do all of her cool stuff that she went on to do and left that show. And so it was who's going to be the next person to replace Jenny? And it was oh my God, I couldn't believe I got the job. I was just wow, riding high, on MTV. And I remember I went to the mall, and it was the first time people just were coming up to me and want my autograph. And someone said, I like Jenny way better than you. And I was oh, I just something, the silliest things like that would hurt me, but that was a long time ago.
Sure. And now, I guess that's a good message. So for younger listeners, is that don't let people get you down, because it's very easy for people to do that on social media and stuff these days.
Yeah.
Way easier to anyone. All the bullying that goes on online.
Everyone has
stuff.
an opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Yeah, some people are bullies, straight out bullies, and it does get to you if you read something. I don't care who you are. It's somewhere it has to you have to feel it a little bit, but just take it for what it is. Meet me on the street corner and say it to my face.
Yeah,
is how I
Carol,
feel.
that's awesome.
Say what you will behind the mask, Step out and say it.
There's a lot of people probably very excited by that statement. Honestly, do you mind disclosing your age? You don't mind telling.
I don't care.
Yeah, you're 43 years old.
Yeah.
Born April 20th, as
That's
Crispin
right.
Glover revealed. Really are a absolutely stunning lady and a sex symbol, and always have been. Is that a hard burden on a lady? Do you feel the pressure on always having to put yourself together perfectly? Great new outfits, hair, makeup. I know. Is that a hard thing? Is that a burden?
There's been times where, but I guess I just throw on Chucks. I'm a jeans and Chucks girl, rock t-shirt girl too. So it doesn't really matter. But when I do get dressed up, I like it. It's just a part of me that's fun. And I'm might as well do it now. What am I waiting for? So
I would imagine it would be tough sometimes having all the eyes glued on you pretty much everywhere you go.
It definitely can be pressure. Yeah, definitely. But
do you compartmentalize, Carmen Electra? Do you get to go are you out in Malibu? Are you out somewhere away from it all where you can have your downtime and breathe?
I'm a homebody, so I like to stay home a lot. That's my safe ground. But I can if I throw on a baseball cap, I'm cool. I can go do stuff. I don't roll with security. I'm not all trippy like that.
Yeah, I saw you rolling with 5 people in an Escalade today.
Well, yeah, because it's press day, so my makeup artist and but yeah, no, I drive myself, and I I have to have alone time too.
You're super down to earth still. Of all these years and such great success, you've really kept it together. Isn't that fair to say?
Thank you. That's sweet. Thank
Well,
you.
I mean, listen, you've
I've
had
tried.
I mean, there's so much that everyone knows about you. You know, you think of even when you and Dave Navarro lived your life publicly. That was sort of rare in that day and age. That was kind of before all this reality TV, before everyone exposed themselves on the internet and stuff. You're really one of the pioneers of that.
Yeah,
so,
our show was in the beginning. It was the beginning of doing that, and it was awesome to be once again part of the MTV family and do that with him. Yeah.
Are there keys? Are there tips to young actors or actresses or musicians, whatever, who are trying to come out to LA? Are there keys to survival?
Yeah.
What would you say those are?
Be persistent. Don't stop, because, you can go to so many auditions and not get the part, but finally you're going to land something. I had to it was like make or break time for me in LA. Didn't have money to stay, and I was probably going to end up going back home to Ohio, and I had to go to auditions, and it was like, oh man, I would go in and I was so shy, and I would look at all these gorgeous girls, and they had their lines down, and they're like, with their attitude and all their like dope clothes, and I'm like, I'm wearing the same, like putting the same outfit together, like have a few good outfits, and they're in heavy rotation. And my, I have a few MAC makeup cosmetics, and I went everywhere with that case. If I would have stopped, I wouldn't have gone on to do what I've done today. So my advice would be just don't stop. Don't listen to what other people say. As a matter of fact, I have a story. When I was just starting to audition, I was presented with an opportunity at Playboy. Took that opportunity. It was awesome to, my celebrity pictorial. And I wasn't even a celebrity, which is kind of a weird thing. It was cool. I was happy. I'm like, oh my God, I've made it. This is awesome. At the time, there was a manager that managed Pam and Jenny approached me to manage me. And I remember he was actually the manager where I wouldn't go to the auditions. I would run out. And he got really mad and he said, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. Jenny and Pam, they work really hard. And I remember thinking like, God, if he only knew that I wasn't slacking, I just feel super insecure. It's not even what he thinks it is. And I remember going, I'll show you. And next thing you know, like Jenny leaves MTV and does her own thing. And they're like, who's filling her shoes? And it was me. And I'm like, oh my God. And then when Pam decided to leave Baywatch, ended up auditioning for her role and ended up getting a part on that show. So this is really cool, like I'm just going, wow, like my whole life changed. And
let's be honest, it's a big fuck you, all right?
Yeah. Fuck you, dude. It's like the middle finger representing for everybody who just has some insecurities, some fear, and like, who are you to, be an asshole?
You want to say the guy's name?
I can't remember it. I can't even remember his name, that asshole.
He's so irrelevant.
What a
Dick. It means absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
well,
fuck that guy. Fuck him.
Fuck that guy, Carmen Electra. And you know what? I gotta stop it there. I'm married. My mind almost took somewhere else.
No,
okay,
no.
woo.
Don't do that.
No, I never. No. But I like these tales because there probably are a lot of people who are just assuming that you come out here, you're gorgeous, you get handed things. People probably assume that because of your beauty. But that's bullshit. There's a lot of beautiful ladies who try and come out and make it and stuff.
Well, looks will get you in the door.
Yes.
And they'll get you so far. But then, like whatever it is, if you want to study something, do it and be ready when you come out here because the opportunities are all here. You just have to make it happen.
And that it's a message that I've been hearing repeatedly being out here now for about 3 weeks. And I love it. It's that, no, really, by a lot of people say, you got to work fucking hard. Nothing's really handed to people. There are breaks, but if you don't continue to work hard, it'll go away pretty quick.
Absolutely. You've
seen
you have to pay your dues at some point or it's just going to all fade away.
Yeah, I guess you've seen probably a lot of ups and downs in other people's careers. Through this hard work and success now, you're hosting Exile, which we'll talk about soon. The finale is tomorrow night on WeTV, WeTV.com. Are you in a rush? Can we talk? Like, I just
think
like,
we can.
I just like talking to people. So you tell me to fuck off.
Chat it up. No, I like you. You're cool.
Do any thank you so much. Do any stories strike you though as someone who you remember at the peak and maybe now they're not where they would be?
No, I guess I probably pay more attention to the people that have made it last.
Okay.
I find that to be way more interesting, but I think when people out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So if they faded away, you're not really thinking about them,
Yeah. Is it
off the top of my head? I can't really.
Well, that's probably a good thing. So there's not someone who maybe you're really close with who's not doing anything right now and stuff. Do you like are you friends?
I'm friends with Jenny and she's killing it.
Killing it.
She keeps it going.
She works on SiriusXM too, which is great.
Yeah, but she's really smart and she's funny. She's talented, so she's always going to win.
What do you think of these new stars who are sort of Instagram models or just, the YouTube celebrities? Is there a difference from those who have made it in true Hollywood? Is there any resentment, or are you happy for their success too?
I'm happy for anyone that's doing them. People want to bash reality stars and say, oh, well, they don't do anything. And I'm like, I'm not like bitter about that. I think some people get super tied up in, oh, well, I've studied all these classes in who is this person? Hey, everyone has a game. They're just winning right now. So you're bummed. You know what I mean? I respect it. Not everyone's going to do the same thing, and times change. Flow with it. Roll with it.
How many Instagram followers do you have? I should
I
have
love
looked.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm getting close to 500K.
Yeah.
So I was late on the game. I was really late on social media in
Twitter
general.
and all that kind of stuff.
Super late on it because
everyone who was in
I
it.
couldn't look. I couldn't look at my face all the time and get like so self-involved. But just in the past couple years, got to return back to music, and it was really important through my record label. Like, you need to communicate more with your fans. You need to I slowly got like more and more involved in it, and now I'm addicted. Like, first thing I do, Instagram in the morning. I mean, it's a problem. I need to go to rehab for...
They're going to have that one day. Rehab for people who are addicted to their own social medias. But the problem is in this day and age, it is so important to success. You monetize it. You grow with it. You get hired based on the amount of people, because then you can all publicize it to your own
what
people.
I think is really cool is that if something was said about... You can defend yourself now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone says something about you, you can give it back. You can tell your side. You can tell your story from your perspective. You can show pictures the way you want them to be seen. And you have an intimate relationship with your true followers, the people that really, really love you, and have supported your career. That to me is so cool. I love that.
I also like that you can document some thoughts. Some people don't like to share thoughts on social media, but I like to sometimes share things because that way if other people try and pawn it off or steal jokes or whatever, like, no. Back in 2014, I sent out this tweet. It's on record. And that,
You're like, I was the first.
Yeah,
What did I know?
That's mine. How revealing will you get on your Instagram? With bikini shots and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
You look great. What do you do? What do you do?
You're silly.
I'm very silly.
Oh,
you work
my God,
out.
you make me shy. You know what? I've slacked a little bit, and I gained a little bit of weight, but like I'm working with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a dancer, so I'm always going to be critical about myself. But I was dancing a lot. Like, I was in dance studio 12 hours a day, and I got really skinny. But it was a natural thing. Like, you're dancing that much, you're sweating, and you're loving what you do. You're going to lose tons of weight. And I couldn't really gain weight. And then all of a sudden it crept up on me, and I'm like, whoa. But asses are in.
Just for the record.
Asses are in.
If you gain weight, Carmen Electra, you gained it in all the right places. I'm just going to put that out. Is every handle just at Carmen Electra?
At Carmen Electra, that's it. Yeah,
that's simple. Now, you mentioned the music career. I read something, and you never know what you read online is true. So was Prince one of your first breaks? Is that true?
Yeah.
Prince signed you to a label that
his label, Paisley Park Records, yeah.
So you started in the industry really by meeting Prince, and actually... It's funny because it's all come full circle, because you've worked on music recently again, which you can talk about for sure. But that must be so fulfilling for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I auditioned, was called into audition for a girl band that Prince was putting together. I didn't get the job, and I was really bummed. And I remember my girlfriend here, she took me to Capitol Records. She's like, no. You can do this. You can do this. She was kind of like a cheerleader and really positive for me. She's like, no, you can do this. Forget that. Don't worry about that. So we went into Capitol Records, and I ended up getting a demo deal with them. So that kept me here. I was able, to stay in Los Angeles instead of flying back and giving up everything and going back to Ohio.
If you don't mind me interrupting, what was something like that had paid to keep you here as just a demo deal?
It wasn't a lot.
Like 20 grand or like...
No,
not even...
Nothing close to that.
Wow.
No. Basically, it was like hotel. They paid for hotel and buy lunch for me. It was like, I didn't have an attorney. I didn't know anything about that life, I mean, it was just, I was excited for the opportunity, so I didn't know any better.
So you work on some music with Prince's label and stuff, but then I guess through Playboy, the MTVs, the Baywatches, everything kind of distracted you from that. You don't have time to do everything. And then when do you get back into making the music again?
Well, I performed and did a lot of shows with the Pussycat Dolls and other, groups, and continued to dance and with my aerobic striptease DVDs and all that fun stuff. So every opportunity I would go back into that, because that's what I know the best. as dance. About 2 years ago, I was introduced to Orlando, or his name's Orlando, over at Citrus Sonic Records, and he actually worked on my record that Prince produced at Warner Brothers. And he was like, you know what? Like, I loved your music back then.
How long?
Come in the studio, and I was like,
wow.
No. I'm like, what? Really? He's like, yeah, just come in and like, let's play around. And we did. And my first single that we put out, I Like It Loud, it was on the dance charts and did really well. And I got to perform and dance and, headline White Party and all these really cool like events. And it's awesome. I love it. And
what a rush for you to be able to kind of, to get back to your roots and feel that passion. And Around the World, is that, that's another great tune?
Yeah, Around the World is another single that I put out, and Work, WERQ.
Yeah, and then now is there going to be an album, Carmen Electra? Are we going to have a full album?
We've been working on it. I went off to the Dominican Republic to shoot the show. To shoot the show and shoot the shit. No, to shoot the show.
Exile, which we will talk about.
Yes.
Which we will talk about.
And now that I'm back and the show's airing and on, like I plan to get back in the studio really soon.
Wow,
so I love it. I love it, and I love the whole production of it all. I love the costumes. I have, I'm a dancer, so of course I'm going to dance, and I love dance music. That's what that's what makes sense to me. As far as like putting on a show. Is
it harder now that you're older? Like, is it more tiring on the? Is it hard on the body?
At first, definitely. Like, the first few rehearsals, you're just like, whoa, I'm sweating, and I'm like, can barely catch my breath. But you like, I get used to it. It snaps right back, and I'm right back in.
The knees are in good shape.
Oh yeah. Everything's cool.
You're tough. Were you a farm girl in the day? Were you?
No, I wasn't a farm girl. Okay. No.
I always found farm girls were very tough. That's why I asked. Years and years and years and years and years ago, you were married to Dennis Rodman.
Another lifetime ago. Yeah.
Are you ever in contact with Dennis Rodman, or is he too busy hanging out with dictators?
He's too busy. No.
No contact whatsoever.
No.
And is it stuff you don't even really care to talk about? Because I don't have to talk about it. I mean, you've talked about it enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but at one point, like, I think he was just saying things about me that were so untrue, one way or the other. Like, can't be even be your friend because I just don't. You're going to say that I'm crushing on you or something because I'm worried about you or I'm a friend to you at this point. So it was just got a little bit weird and kind of difficult. In moving on with my other relationships, if someone's going out saying, oh yeah, she likes me, she's so into me, and that's not the case, it made things harder. So it's sad. I mean, I loved the guy, I really see like this really sweet side of him. I think everyone that knows him has seen this amazing side of him and seen the self-destructive side of Dennis that he does to himself, like he completely does it to himself. He's the first one to admit it. And everyone always wants to help him because he has like such a giving, caring side to him. And that's clear to all of us. But at some point, like I can't assume that I can change anybody or make them happy. I couldn't bring him happiness. I couldn't change his life. Maybe that's my issue. I want to like, yeah, you're great. You're awesome.
I don't know if that's an issue, being compassionate and having empathy. I think that's sweet, and that is obviously something why people fall in love with you too, beyond your beauty. And when people self-sabotage themselves, as there's no helping these people. So
he's the number one rebounder, like the Bulls. I mean that moment of like him and Michael Jordan on the court. Like,
did you meet Michael?
Yeah,
a bunch of times.
He's so nice. Michael was so cool, and like I'm like, what's going on? This is a dream world, and I'm not even a sports fan. But like, I know Michael Jordan. Hello, I know who he is. So that was a crazy time, and like watching them win the championship. It was the last time the Bulls were together, and I was right there in the stands, and like, wow. And like, I'm like, fucking Dennis is awesome, man. Like, he's like a horse. The guy is like, he prances down the court and he's just like the bad boy taking him out.
Well, I know I appreciate you being candid about that for something so long.
Absolutely.
And then obviously Dave Navarro, you're married to for how long were you?
We were together. Me and Dave were together longer than people thought. We were together a long time before we got married, and it was planned out and a beautiful wedding. Really proud of that time.
Yeah. Is there a difference in dating, say, number one basketball players to number one rock stars, or is it still just a very glamorous kind of high profile type of environment?
Everyone's different. You can't really put putting anybody in the same category at all. Both learning experiences for me. And it's cool. Dave and I are still friends.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we're able to still be friends, and I like that.
And what's going on now with you?
I'm single and I'm dating and figuring it out. Yeah, I love it.
The phone lines are lighting up. Okay.
No, it's awesome.
Are you on Tinder? Are you on Tinder?
No, I'm not on Tinder. I don't do that. But I watch it. My friends do it.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I'm more of a vibe person. I have to kick off. I have to feel the vibe. I can't do the internet thing. That's crazy.
Is it? And before, and then we only have a few minutes here, so I want to make sure we tell you all about Exile. One last question. Being out here and obviously with these past relationships you've had, and there's money and beautiful ladies and stuff. Is it tough to find a genuine relationship? Is that maybe one of the hazards of being out here?
It is. And number one thing that really bugs me is like going out on a date with a guy and they want to instantly they're worried about getting the photo for Instagram and for social media. And I'm going, yeah, but can we like get to know each other first? You know what I mean? That to me is a huge sign.
Interesting, because they just want to build up their profile.
I kind of feel like that's a weird thing. And then they have an issue with me. Well, why do you want to hide me? I'm like, I'm not trying to hide you. I just want to, I know what it's like to have a relationship thrown out there. I know what it's like. Do you know what it's like? Because I do. And you're going to trip the things people say, It might bother you. Like, let's get to know each other and have a real, solid, firm ground that we're standing on.
Start with a bit private. Well,
like, try to protect it as long as you can, and then let it out.
I think
when
that's
it's out,
great.
it's out. Then it's like let's shout it from the rooftop.
Then we'll roll. Yes, let's go with a speakerphone. We're going to put airplane banners, and we are
Instagram
together
every day. I love
that's
you.
right.
Oh my god,
You're the
I'm
best.
so emo right now.
Tomorrow we're not together. Carmen Electra hanging out. The host of Exile. The finale is tomorrow night on WeTV. WeTV.com too to find out all your information. Now, this is a show from the PR release that I was reading. Is where you put together basically people who don't know how to get out of relationships, or they drive each other nuts. It's tumultuous. They need to get out, but you put them away. You get like 5 couples, and then you put them in this environment. How's this been for you? Has this been a fun show?
It was a fun show because it's so different than all the other ones where, you're trying to get the couples to stay together. These couples do not want to be together. They're like, this is toxic. I'm so done with him or her, but I can't leave it. And I think we've probably all been in a codependent situation where you're like, oh, I'm miserable, but I just can't walk away. What's wrong with me? Why am I putting up with this? I'm better than this. I deserve better. Why am I staying? So we help them along. We help them along.
You help them break up for good, and you tempt them with beautiful singles.
Heartbreakers.
Yes.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, you're doing them a service, because if you're in this dysfunctional relationship, you never get out of it, and the cycle continues and continues and continues. You live a miserable life. I mean, maybe some hot sex once in a while, but a miserable life.
Make up sex, break up sex is always pretty good. We help them. We help them a lot. But we did. We surprised them with 10 singles, and some couples that said weren't ready. So it revealed a lot about each personality and what they're going through in their relationship. So it was cool.
Did it bring anyone closer together?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. I mean, there's a couple that has a child together. Some people may think that's the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do.
Don't do it just for the kid. Make sure the kid is raised in a great environment, in a healthy, safe environment. Because I just had a kid 7 months ago.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I would never want to put that kid in harm's way. And if unfortunately my wife and I, which we're not, but we're in, maybe after this interview, we might be.
No, I'm a girl's girl all the way. I love your wife.
You'd love her, actually. We should go for a drink one day out here.
Yeah, definitely.
Meet the little guy Sawyer. But
so cute.
You wouldn't ever want to put someone in that. And so while it's fun and exciting and electric, this show, Exile, there's also a nice humility message to it, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. But, along with this, people were really frustrated and were angry. I mean, you were giving them an opportunity to let it out. And because of that, we had Dr. Ish, who is a psychiatrist, right there. He was hands-on with all of them. So I didn't have to take on that burden or responsibility. I was more like their friend, and I could talk to them and hang out with them. And that was a better place for me to be. But he was on call 24 hours. So if something went down in the middle of the night, they could call Dr. Ish, and he was there.
So
I think we all needed
safety
Dr. Ish.
We needed it. That should be the next step.
It really should.
A 24-hour doctor to help you in those.
Idea.
That's a great. I don't fucking.
WeTV, are you listening?
Yeah,
Exile, hello.
A little
Let's get on this.
You get it, and boom! They're like an Uber driver. They drop you off your house, and before there's like plates being fucking thrown and 911 calls and stuff.
Oh, and there were things thrown.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things thrown.
Oh, shit, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, people were letting it out. I mean, that happens when you go to the islands too, right? You go to the islands, there's temptation there, there's singles, hot bodies, and you're trying to get out of it. So there's a lot of jealousy, a lot of like reacting, a lot of cheating, a lot of stuff goes down.
What a fun show,
good.
Exile. Do you think there'll be another season?
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I love shooting it. I love being a part of the family. So let's bring it back.
Cool. And any other future projects, Carmen Electra, that we can find you in, see you in, and anything to talk about?
I have my own perfume out now. It's called Carmen Electra.
Are you wearing it right now?
I am.
Because it's amazing.
Thank
so,
you.
The first thing you smell great.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're
it's
welcome.
so nice.
No, I'm being serious too. I hate perfumes. Like some will make me very allergic,
light,
and some
right?
will make It's exactly. It doesn't like just knock you out, which is nice. It makes you just experience Carmen Electra with your. It's yes. It's a nice soft smell.
Thank you so much.
Wow, that must be fun working on your own perfume. And what else?
It was really fun because they gave me they let me do whatever I wanted. So I got to design the bottle, which is really cool. It looks like a cat with little ears and leopard, but I love, and big pouty red lips. So to me, this is my own personal thing. It wasn't stamping my name on it.
Yeah, it wasn't like big conglomerate puts it together and hey, we'll just get him a sponsorship
Listen,
deal.
I've done that before,
Yeah.
and it's awkward. And so going into the future with this perfume, I was like, it's got to smell good because I have to wear it. I want to wear my own perfume. I don't want to just pretend, and people are too smart now.
Yep, 100%.
You can't get away with that anymore.
You have to be genuine.
You have to love your brand and live your brand. Right?
Where can people get what's it called again, the perfume?
Carmen Electra.
Just Carmen. Yeah,
and you can get
okay.
you can get on perfume.net or fragrance.net and on Amazon.
Is there ever going to be a Baywatch remake?
They're doing it right now.
And are you a part of it?
I haven't been asked to be a part of it, but I so would because I found the humor and comedy in the show while doing it.
Sure.
But I can't wait to see it. It'd be good. I heard that they're going up with the sex. That's what I got wind of.
I think I saw that one, but it wasn't. It was on. No, anyway. There's so many.
I
of
know
them.
where you're going with that. Okay, yeah.
Carmen Electra. Let's end it on a high note. This has been a wonderful 45 minutes, and thank you so much for giving us. Yeah,
time flies with you.
It's too bad. Yes, it's nice. It's nice. It's a very sweet time that you're here. You're very open. And honestly, what a great, wonderful, successful career you've had. And it's so nice to see that it's continuing to flourish and that you're doing so well. And keep kicking ass in the music industry, too, because I love that that's your passion.
Thanks.
Yeah.
If I'm performing to a very small room of people, I'm fulfilled because I love to do it. If it has huge success, that's awesome, too. Bring it on. But I love what I do, and I'm not going to stop doing it. I don't care what anyone thinks or says. Do you, be you, and live for you.
Thank you so much, Carmen Electra. Make sure you go check out the finale of Exile.
The Todd Shapiro Show on Canada Laughs, SiriusXM Canada 168.
This is Jay Brody, The Todd Shapiro Show. Every single day we'll be putting up a new video where we want your comments on today's biggest stories. And don't forget to subscribe now to our YouTube channel. Subscribe! Subscribe! Now! Hit the button! Do it! Do it! Do it now! Do it! Right there! Do it! Do it now! Subscribe! Quick! Quick, quick, quick! Hit the button! Hit the button! Hit the button! Go, 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 go! Go now! Now! Now!